Is that it?
It's Fridays.
Okay.
Are you going?
Yeah, it says they want to.
Yeah. I probably not. I get something else.
Okay, then I'll go. I'll give us through there. That's for you and H.
Yeah.
Nobody out there, Janet? Cyberlane? Alrighty,
There's a meeting in the morning
right,
for the commission.
commissioners, yeah.
Council. Once a year.
I'll go. I'll
So we
go.
leave them out, do we need them out?
George is talking to you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the chair will call the meeting to order, and the first item on the agenda is to approve, some minutes of the 25th and the 8th, the 15th is still in draft.
Well, move to approve.
Okay, and I'll second that. Any amendments, changes to the minutes? Here, all in favor of adoption of motion, indicate by saying aye. Aye, those opposed, that votes ahead. Do you want to abstain because you weren't here?
I'll abstain, yeah. I
Okay.
was gonna say I could vote
You can vote on the 8th.
the 8th, but I can't do the 20th.
Right, so, as you recommend, the commission rule, voting for the 8th, amendments and suspend and down, was abstained on the 25th.
Right.
All right, item number 2 is to approve the proposed capital improvement plan. That's the 6-year plan we worked with the department heads on. Unless there's any other amendments or additions that we need to discuss, I'm not aware of any. Chair, entertain a motion
I'll
to.
make the motion to approve.
Second.
Okay.
I think that's a great plan.
Is there any further discussion regarding that? Not here. All those in favor of adoption, saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, vote unanimous. Item 3 is to approve a supplemental appropriation of $16,421,951 for this proposed capital improvement plan.
I'll make the motion to approve that.
Okay, second.
I'll second.
So this is what happens, bond.
Once it came out of, go ahead.
Yeah, what happens is bond council wants you, first you do a supplemental appropriation, and then we have the second motion to bond.
Yeah. Right.
So that's what you do, that's how,
I'll make the motion for the appropriation.
okay. And you're second?
Yeah, second, yeah.
Okay. Okay, all those in favor of approving the supplemental appropriation, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, vote unanimous. Item 4 is to approve the issuance of $16,421,951 in bonds to fund the capital improvement program.
I move for that.
Okay,
Second.
okay, any discussion? Not hearing that, all those in favor of adoption of the issuance of the bonds, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the vote unanimous. Item 5 is to discuss the Hampshire State grant for substance abuse reduction, the amount of $40,000. So what do we got there, Diane?
We received an award for $40,000, which is, quite less than, it had been running between $70,000 and $80,000, but nonetheless, we have a $40,000 grant, for this coming year. The sheriff's department, somebody was coming in, I thought I saw somebody, but.
I think Captain Party's in the back if you wanted to get him.
Yeah, because he's the one who runs this.
Sure thing.
So I think, Ray Party is working on all the MOAs with all of the communities within the county. And, so basically, what has happened in the past, we've had a couple of, I believe it's Somersworth and Dover, but Ray would know better. It's for overtime hours for,
He was just at the run downstairs. He'll be right back up.
yeah, it's for overtime hours for, a couple of communities, all the community, we have an MOA with all of the communities, but we have 2 that tend to participate. more than the
Rochester.
others. Somersworth, I know.
Somersworth does, and I
Yeah.
think it's, yeah.
Yeah. And in the past, any of the overtime hours, what would happen is the bill from the communities would be sent directly to the state, and then the state would reimburse the communities for their overtime directly. They're changing that. And so now they want the county to pay the communities for the overtime, and then we get reimbursed for everything. So that's changed a little bit.
Yeah.
So not sure, you know,
Yeah,
what you think about all of that.
So just so you know, it won't be overspent, you know, because we,
No, yeah.
there'll just be less money
Less money,
available, you know, for for the communities, which is too bad. You know, we're just the past.
Yeah, we have pastors, so we're just gonna act in a fiduciary capacity.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we also have some overtime that gets billed and reimbursed for it as well.
Does that come out of the 40,000?
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'll just, I'll make sure that I, work with the sheriff, and the new sheriff to understand the limitations of the amount of money. So they can only, they'll have to work with the, cities, you know, to divvy that up and figure it out so we don't exceed the amount that's been allocated.
So I do have the grant award for the three of you to sign. There are pages, all three of you would have to initial you.
Okay, well, what?
You want to.
I'll wait for Ray to come.
Yeah.
Speak to us about that.
That's it.
Oh, there he
Oh,
is.
there he is.
Hey, Ray.
Hello. Hey, Cap, how are you?
How are you, sir?
How are you?
Good. Can you tell us about the grant?
Oh, the Grand Shield?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the, God, it's fifth or sixth grant cycle.
Mhm.
And the fund appropriates the states and it is, appropriates the funds for local agencies that apply and are granted the money to combat drug activity. And we've been doing it for 17 or 18, I think it started, I don't recall.
Yeah, it's been quite a-
And typically in the past, we'll go out and do an operation, we'll submit paperwork to now Mackenzie, and she would bill the state for those hours in overtime, hours that were worked in combating drug trafficking, and we send all the results to the state, so they know that we're doing what we're supposed to, and and apparently Diane keyed in on the fact that they're changing on how the reimbursement works this year.
Mhm. I just explained that to them.
So is this primarily, paid out to our established drug task force?
We would use most of it. Typically, any police agency in the county is privy to those funds, but historically, it's been Dover, Rochester, and Somerville, and then our drug task force. You don't see smaller towns utilizing the funds. It's usually the city. So Dover PD will say, hey, we want to do an op tomorrow night. We're gonna have 6 people. We plan on working this many hours, and then they send us, this is who worked, this is their billing rates, and we would kick that up to Mackenzie, who would do the billing and get reimbursed.
Sounds good.
All right. A lot less money.
What's that?
A lot less money this year.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
40 last year. The year before it was 70.
7,
And I
yeah.
think the first year we got like 85.
Yeah.
I was shocked it came back. I thought after COVID it was never gonna come back, but it's still hanging in. But apparently I don't know what this is gonna mean for us, but you guys figure that out.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good day. Alrighty. Okay, so I get a motion to accept the grant award.
Second. Oh,
I'll make the motion.
okay, second.
Alrighty. All those in favor of accepting the grant, indicate by saying aye. Those opposed, vote unanimous. Okay.
Let's see what it thought it is. There's this
Yeah.
one here. The certificate, yeah, I would need you to sign and your signatures, and then there are pages which are asking the 3 initials and dates.
Grant the initial, all three.
Yes.
Anyone?
That's an initial.
A couple pages in, George.
There you go. Thank you. That's it. I didn't check them in there, I probably look different with those. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's across from here, right?
Right there, yeah, you're right there. Check it out, man.
I will.
All righty, we got some upcoming events. Also, we need to list out the Association of Counties Executive Committee's meeting in Concord on the 6th of September. And the plan is for the county commissioners statewide to meet with the new dean of the University of Hampshire to sign the memorandum of understanding for all the counties on behalf of cooperative extension service. They'll be having on the 6th in Concord. All righty.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Is that something that's gonna be discussed on the 4th? Did Chairman Schmidt ask for that to be put on the agenda?
It is on the agenda.
Okay,
for,
thank
The delegation.
Excuse me, yes, the delegation meeting, it's, I think, item 7 or something.
Thank you. I just felt uncomfortable if he was gonna sign it without the
What time is
delegation.
it? 9 o'clock?
10, I believe it. I'll check. Yeah, we had the RSVP. Did they send you a?
I did, I did.
For the signature, but not for the meeting. I'm talking about the meeting.
Yeah, but did they get then send you an RSVP for the meeting?
I might have missed it.
Okay.
Janet will make sure that you're all signed up.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we all got it supposedly.
I got one, then I signed it, but you can do it.
I did it twice.
Yeah.
Cause I got it from 2 different people, so. All right. We got any old and new business? I saw that the cranes were here this week and they put the new.
Yeah, they were here, I was here on Saturday and they were, working all day Saturday, lifting the, units up on top of the roof. Mr. Chairman, because my integrity is challenged, I simply want to say that, based on a recent article in the Rochester Journal, there is no county employees who ever received any money in relation to, the building or the potential construction of any nursing home, other than their regular weekly pay.
Right.
Any of the work that was done, was either done on our own time or during our workday. So anybody that's made such an accusation, it's absolutely baseless.
All right.
I just needed to say that.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying it. I mean, commissioners knew that was the case, but.
Well, you would know, you
would
would
know.
know bills every week.
Bills.
Your response to that.
Yeah.
Your response
Because
to
that's
false
ridiculous.
information.
All righty. Any other old and new business? All righty. Right, any questions or comments from the public related to the agenda? Susan, you got anything for us today?
Yep.
All righty.
Okay, so Mr. Brower just said something about the crane being here for the air handling equipment.
Yeah.
And I'm just a little confused, and just bear with me, because I come here so that I can learn, okay? In your CIP program, you have 1.3 million, if I recall correctly, for air handling for the courthouse. So is this on top of all of the work that is being done currently, or how does this all work? Because I thought there was some ARPA funds with this,
There was.
and this seems like this is work that's being done, but we haven't actually appropriated the money for it? I don't know, educate me.
The ARPA funds, paid for the vast majority of the job. The money that we're asking for will pay for the change orders that were necessary to complete the project.
It's primarily, if I may speak to that, it's primarily an increase in cost of the supplies. The job was quoted in 2018, I believe. And since then, a lot of the supplies to finish the job have either tripled or quadrupled in price, including the steel needed to support the units and some of the ductwork and the labor as well for some of the subcontractors. Of course, an increase in wages for them over the past couple of years.
Okay, so then there's roof repairs at $1.6 million. So what does that entail? Because I know, George, you have said several times that we were gonna be about $1 million over because of the steel, but he's relating it to the air handling, so.
It's the same thing.
It's the same project.
So another, what do you mean, it's the same?
It's the same project.
Same project.
The handling, the roof handling units had to have steel,
To support.
to support the weight of them.
Mhm.
That
So-
wasn't required under the old standards, but the steel wasn't required, but the new units are so heavy that we had to,
I understand.
we had to buy the steel, and then there was a weight, there was a amount of a weight in the steel.
So is
Yeah.
the steel and all of that work under the roof repairs, and then the air handling is strictly air handling issues?
The steel is with the air handling repair.
Okay,
The roof repair, the 1.3 quoted for the roof repair is upon air handling completion. When the work's being done up there, these air handlers are being put in new locations on the roof, so there's a lot of protrusions and a lot of patches up there on the roof from where the old units were. And it causes leaks. We've already experienced that several times. We've had a lot of water intrusion up there. They're temporary patches, but upon completion of those air handling units, once they're installed and signed off on, we're gonna need to do an entire roof replacement.
so that 1.3 is basically an entire. roof
Correct,
replacement.
an entire new roof upon completion of the air handling project.
Okay. Third question. Federal forfeiture monies, do we get those and where are they spent and how are they spent?
I wish we were, Diana can
We
answer that.
haven't received forfeiture money in years. And I
And
think
Buckingham County got some.
we
It
have
just-
not.
It just depends.
I think there's some pending money out there from my last conversation with the sheriff's department,
Mm.
but we have not received it. It can take quite a while for that to make its way, so we get,
The
part of that
forfeiture
money.
money depends on the nature. If there was a sting operation or some
In that county.
in that area, right? And
Okay.
that law enforcement agency took place, took part in it.
Mhm.
Then you get a piece of the pie when they get done.
Unfortunately, of course, it's post-conviction and
Right.
then post-adjudication of what they call the proceeds of the investigation,
Right.
which would be the cash, and obviously there's no proceeds in the drugs.
Yeah,
those are
most of the time, the
destroyed.
DEA gets most of the money in the state. We hardly ever get any of it. The county hardly ever get any of it.
Okay, and thank you for clarifying that. Our wonderful automobiles that are being shipped off to auction, any updates on that?
Yeah, we have an open house. We've had, companies from Maine and Boston. No, we've scheduled an open house. We're gonna
I saw
park,
the email.
we're gonna park the vehicles in the pull-off. Doug, the one in front of the jail.
Where the bus
parking
parking
lot.
was, yep.
So we've got one day and 2 or 3 hours where they can come and look and inspect the vehicles, and then the bids are due shortly thereafter. Because, and I don't blame them, I mean, people wanna know the condition of the vehicles, cause they're sold as is. So it's been all advertised, we've actually had 3 companies, according to Dee, who have expressed an interest, so we've decided to do a public display rather than. We don't want to do it individually because we want to answer their questions once and we want to answer it in front of everybody that has an interest. So somebody doesn't say, well, you said this to them and you said this to this way it's one time and we're gonna pull them all up in that pull-off area.
Do they have to buy them as an entire lot or can they?
No, they can pick and choose. But the commissioners reserve the right to reject. So, I mean, if somebody bids them all and somebody might bid a little higher on one of them, but the other person doesn't want to give that up, it might be worth it for us to sell them all to somebody. But they can bid individually.
Hopefully the catalytic converters don't get knocked off.
No, well, they haven't yet, so I think we're safe so far. I'll have decent, just so you'll have, I'll just have her send you a copy of the email anyway. I'll take a second.
Might be.
This has been going on for several months.
Yeah, well, I wanted to make sure I got all the cars and we needed to make sure they were all replaced. You know, I didn't wanna like sell 2 or 3 and then have 2 or 3 more because the cost of advertising.
Right.
We decided to make sure we had all the sheriff's vehicles in so that any ones that were retired were available.
They also had to be stripped of some of the equipment that was inside the vehicles.
Yeah, wouldn't work if we sold one with a police radio in it. Probably wouldn't have worked out too well.
Or a cage.
Or a cage, yeah.
Spending money on. Alrighty, you all set now, Susan? No?
For now.
Okay,
Thank you.
great.
I don't know if you wanted to get an update from Doug Kane about his tour.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Post delegation meeting, I met with Kaczynski and Granger, just as a side note, downstairs, showed him the equipment, showed him the fire panel, and kind of gave him a sense of what we're asking for in the capital improvement plan. We talked a lot about the challenges with the draining outside and other items. That meeting went just fine. I had a meeting scheduled with Peter Potenza. He's Kelly Potenza's husband. He's a salesman for FW Webb, works out of Massachusetts. Polite, knowledgeable, friendly. He brought Cliff Newton with him, and we toured the facility from about 9 a.m. to just past noontime last Friday. It was a productive meeting. It was a helpful meeting. I think Cliff saw the challenges that we're having, especially once we got up to the roof. He saw that the size and the scope of the project up there and the work that was going on. Peter immediately recognized a lot of the work crew, and he had worked with them before, and we had a great meeting. It was really productive for him because he understands a lot of the inner kind of inside baseball and mechanical things about what we're trying to do up there, and he's able to translate that to everyone else. He could relate to all of it, all the stuff that we have out here with the grounds, the water drainage issues, and really looking at the overall project list, seeing that there's really nothing extravagant on there. This is all just basic stuff. We just want to maintain heat. We want to maintain air conditioning. We want a dry, safe facility. And many of the things that seem extravagant with the price, we got into regulations, the discussion of regulations with our new building codes that require us, and the life safety things from Medicaid and from our local AHJ, our authority having jurisdiction regarding what we have to have in place to keep folks safe. And sticker shock was a common theme during the discussion back and forth. You know, everybody's experiencing it, but it was a positive meeting. I think it was a productive meeting, and I'd just like to say I really appreciate the effort that Representative Newton has put into getting hands-on and understanding what's going on here. He's contacted me several times, and I'd like to thank him for that. As a side note, I'd like to commend the commissioners for making the choice to go with Luke Paradis for our hay contract outside. I've been working closely with him and supporting him with what he needs as far as access, keeping folks out of some areas. He is a good steward of the land here, and I'm really happy that you folks chose him and got him out there, because I don't think anybody would do a better job than him. He's thinking generations ahead on land management, talking about clearing brush and about drainage and about how to sustain the land and how to use it best. And it's refreshing to see that. He does a great job, and he's respected in the community, which is a bonus.
It really looks good. I mean, it looks, driving up, it looks really clean and.
Well,
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it looks really
Yeah.
beautiful because he did his second hay crop.
He's gotten 4 yields so
Really?
far, and in some areas, you know, he's restricted on the time where he can cut, but yeah, he's on his 4th yield in some areas, which is extraordinary.
It's
a
been
lot
one
of
of
hay.
those summers, you know.
Well,
with his
one day I was looking, because my office, I have a great view, and there was actually a group of bird watchers out there. There was a whole group, they had binoculars and cameras and all sorts of things, and they were walking all over the place. All of a sudden, you could see all of them pointing and stuff. They seemed to be enjoying their time.
The husband of the past representative from Rochester.
Tim
Hubbard.
I can't remember his first name, but yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Hubbard is the one that, I see on the weekends.
Yeah.
Brings the group out.
Alrighty. So we got, all in all, you're meeting with Newton and, was Kelly's husband, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It was a really productive meeting. We covered basement leaks, the window replacements. We touched on the kitchen hood and the challenges we had there. I showed them the repair that work that was done in community corrections, walk them into a 4,000 square foot room and you see it's a huge job. The carpets upstairs in the courtrooms, we joked about Peter pointing out that the vents were dirty and that I had a paint team scheduled the next week and he beat me by a week, bringing that to everybody's attention. So we had a good laugh from that. They saw the condition of the pews and I told them about one of our crew members who's a carpenter on his side and he's going to repair those a little bit one at a time, which is going to save us, I don't know how many thousands of dollars, trying to have those replaced. And then of course the rooftop, Cliff was adamant about seeing everything. He saw everything and, he commented, his demeanor kind of changed. He said, "This is a really big job. You guys have a lot of stuff to do here." And I think that was very helpful.
It's a tough climb getting up there.
Yeah, it's a climb, but he did it. He did
It's a
it.
climb to get up there.
Yeah, I really appreciated the opportunity to show someone from the delegation exactly what was going on. It was great.
Great. I also think it's worth mentioning the fact that we're going through all this as a result of the state, requesting us because of our air quality in the building.
Yeah, the International Building Code, yeah.
Well, they barely, we were the last courthouse allowed to open. And we did it by the skin of our teeth, so to speak, I mean, to lose them as a tenant, it would be an absolute disaster for us, financial disaster. Who else is gonna rent a courtroom? I mean,
Right.
It's impossible.
They've made tremendous progress on the rooftop project, the air handling project in the past couple of weeks. They've really picked up speed.
Yeah, Saturday they had a big crew when I was out here.
Tuesday, there was a lot going on here on Tuesday. And then I think everything came to a halt when the thunderstorms covered.
Sure.
I think they were off the roof pretty quickly.
Yeah. Interesting storm, to say the least.
It just hovered here.
Yeah, we didn't get any rain here.
No,
Not a drop, not a drop.
a lot of lightning.
A
Downtown,
lot of lightning, a lot of thunder, not a drop of rain.
Rochester got hail.
Yeah, and summers were,
Out of Rochester, because we didn't get any,
Yeah, exactly,
We've got-
yeah.
just a couple of rumbles of
Right.
thunder and
my wife was home and actually showed me the live video of the hail whacking off her car parked in the driveway.
Yeah, we got a lot of water in Dover, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
Lots of it flooded my dock system. The storm drain surcharge blew the whole covers right off the street. It was a lot of fun because I'm at the lowest point. I'm at sea level, so everything has to get there.
I think it
Half a
goes
Dover.
downhill.
Yeah, half of the city comes through my yard, and I'll tell you, it wasn't a pleasant experience. I got some videos of it I'll share with you guys later. Alrighty. So I might as well move into non-public session and discuss personnel contract negotiation. Chair, entertain a motion to do so. Second. Roll call, Commissioner Watson.
yes.
Commissioner Rose.
Yes.
Myself, yes, okay. Vote unanimous. Commissioner retired to non-public session. Thank you, everyone. Doug,
Thank you.
I hope it turns into a yes vote from Newton. If you can get you-
Yeah.
It won't, but.
We talked to talk.